Are you feeling disconnected from your body as you age? Wondering how to keep the spark alive in your relationships, despite changes that seem to be outside your control? As we move through life, our bodies inevitably shift. For many men, the aging process brings a difficult realization. Something as natural as growing older can lead to changes in sexual health that stir up feelings of confusion, insecurity, and even loss. But here's the truth. Aging doesn't mean the end of meaningful intimacy. It simply means it's time to redefine what connection, desire, and love look like in this next chapter of life. As I've moved through the seasons of my life, I've learned invaluable lessons, not just about my physical body, but about relationships, intimacy, and the emotional terrain that grows more complex with age. These lessons haven't always been easy, but each one has deepened my understanding of what it means to live with grace and resilience. In this video, I want to share with you how changes in our bodies, particularly around sexual health, don't have to rob us of the beauty of intimacy. We'll explore how embracing these changes can open doors to a deeper, more emotional connection with our partners. I'll reveal why intimacy is about more than just physical performance. It's about creating moments of tenderness, vulnerability, and emotional closeness, regardless of how our bodies may change. And here's why you need to stick with me until the end. We're diving into the real reasons anxiety over performance is killing your intimacy, and I'll offer practical advice on how to shift the focus from physical expectations to emotional connection. We'll talk about redefining intimacy, exploring new forms of connection, and, most importantly, learning how to enjoy intimacy on your own terms. We all know the feeling of disappointment when our body doesn't respond the way it used to, but let me tell you, that is not a failure. It's a natural part of life's journey. So, if you're ready to embrace the changes that come with aging, strengthen your relationships, and rediscover intimacy in a way that truly fulfills you, this video is for you. Let's dive in. This introduction speaks directly to the concerns many people have about aging and intimacy, while inviting the viewer to explore new ways to connect and understand their own emotional needs in relationships as they age. The invitation to continue watching is clear. The journey of redefining intimacy is not only possible but can be even more fulfilling with the right mindset. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. As I've moved through the seasons of my life, I've learned so many lessons, not just about my physical body, but about relationships, intimacy, and the emotional terrain that grows more complex as the years pass. These lessons haven't always been easy, and there have been times when accepting them felt like accepting the inevitable passage of time itself, a slow, unrelenting force that changes everything. But the truth is, each lesson has been essential. These insights, though born from pain and confusion at times, have helped me grow and understand what it means to truly live with grace and resilience. And when I think about the changes that have come with aging, it's impossible not to reflect on how profoundly the body transforms. There's a particular moment in every man's life when his body, no matter how vibrant, how full of energy, or how youthful it once seemed, begins to shift in ways that are impossible to ignore. It's subtle at first. You might not notice it right away, but then one day, you realize that something isn't quite the same. No matter how passionate or eager your desire, your body no longer responds in the same way. The firmness, the natural readiness of youth, begins to fade. The once effortless physicality that seemed like a given, the easy, firm erection, the undeniable proof of masculinity, is no longer a guarantee. For many men, this can be a devastating revelation. It's like a silent, invisible loss that strikes at the very core of your self-esteem. The changes in the body often feel like a deep betrayal, a challenge to the identity you've built over a lifetime. It's not just a physical shift. It touches your heart, your sense of self, your feelings of worth. When something that once came so naturally starts to elude you, it's hard not to feel confused, ashamed, and insecure. It's a normal human reaction to feel a deep sense of loss when something so fundamental seems to be slipping away. And for many men, this reality is hard to reconcile with the image they have of themselves, their masculinity, and their worth. But here's something I want to share with you, something I think is essential to understand and embrace. This change, this shift in your body, is not a sign of failure. It is not a loss of your masculinity or your value as a person. It is a natural part of the aging process. Just like the gray hairs that eventually appear, or the lines that slowly mark your face, changes in sexual health are inevitable, and they're completely normal. These changes are a reflection of the passage of time, not a reflection of your worth as a man. And there is absolutely no shame in experiencing them. We live in a world that places a great deal of emphasis on physical performance, particularly when it comes to men. We are taught that our worth is tied to our ability to be strong, virile, and unwavering. But the truth is, your body will change, and so will your sexual health. This is part of life's natural course. And just because the body evolves doesn't mean intimacy has to lose its meaning or beauty. If anything, these changes can open new avenues to explore deeper emotional connections and more profound, genuine moments of intimacy. It's about letting go of the expectation that intimacy must look or feel a certain way, and embracing the richness that comes from sharing your vulnerability and love with a partner. When we hold on too tightly to the idea that intimacy is defined by a specific outcome, we limit ourselves. The first step toward a richer, more fulfilling connection is letting go of the pressure to perform. Anxiety about sexual performance, about whether or not you can measure up, is the single most destructive force when it comes to true intimacy. The tension that comes from trying to meet unrealistic expectations creates an invisible wall between you and your partner, and it stops you from fully experiencing the beauty of the moment. We often forget that intimacy is not a performance. It's not something to be judged or scrutinized. Intimacy is an opportunity to connect on a deep emotional level, to share love, to be vulnerable with one another, and to experience pure, unguarded moments of closeness. And if we're constantly obsessed with achieving a particular physical result, we miss out on the depth of intimacy that is available to us. The mind and body are intricately connected. The mental and emotional stress we carry, whether it's fear of failure, anxiety about pleasing our partner, or the self-judgment we impose, sends powerful signals to the body that inhibit natural arousal. Studies have shown time and again that anxiety about sexual performance is one of the greatest obstacles to maintaining and enjoying sexual intimacy. The more pressure we put on ourselves to perform, the more we interfere with the body's natural rhythms. Fear of not being good enough or fear of failure can choke the joy right out of a shared experience. So, my most important piece of advice, the one that can make all the difference in how you experience intimacy at this stage in life, is not to rush. Don't let anxiety drive you. Don't let fear rob you of the opportunity to experience something beautiful and meaningful. Take a step back and remind yourself that intimacy doesn't have to look the way it once did. It doesn't have to end with intercourse or a specific outcome. Even if your body doesn't respond in the same way it once did, that doesn't mean you can't experience true joy, connection, and satisfaction with your partner. In fact, there are countless ways to enjoy the company of the person you love without the pressure of achieving a specific result. Sensual massages, lingering kisses, soft caresses. These are the kinds of intimate moments that create lasting bonds, that deepen emotional and physical connection. They allow you to nurture tenderness, to explore affection in new ways that don't demand anything from you except the willingness to be present. When you let go of the need to perform, you give yourself the freedom to truly enjoy the experience of being with your partner. The joy of shared intimacy is not about an end result. It's about the journey, the moments you spend in each other's arms, the quiet whispers, the laughter, the shared vulnerability. You might discover pleasures that are new to you, or ways to express affection that you never imagined possible. And in doing so, your connection with your partner can grow in ways that bring deeper fulfillment and joy than you ever expected. So I urge you, don't rush, don't pressure yourself, and don't let fear dictate your experience of intimacy. Let go of the expectations and embrace the beauty of the moment, however it unfolds. In doing so, you will discover a richer, more profound way to connect with the one you love. And through this, you may find that intimacy, just like love itself, is not bound by age, by performance, or by physical perfection. It's something far deeper, something that grows more meaningful as you allow yourself to experience it fully, without the need to measure up to anyone's expectations but your own. True intimacy is not defined by a single physical act. It's about the depth of love, the closeness, and the respect that partners share over time, through both the joys and the struggles. As we grow older, we come to understand that true connection doesn't hinge solely on physical perfection or performance. It's the emotional bond, the shared experiences, the tenderness, and the quiet moments that build intimacy. Mario, an old friend who was married for over 30 years, once shared a story with me that illuminated this truth in a profound way. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Mario, like many men, faced the harsh reality of his body changing. He confessed how deeply embarrassed he felt when his penis no longer responded as it once had. His wife, with all the wisdom and grace that only time and experience can offer, said something that shifted his entire perspective. "Our love can't be measured by this, Mario. This is just a small part of who we are. We have so much more to offer each other." Those words were a revelation. Mario and his wife began to redefine their connection, learning to enjoy each other in new, more meaningful ways. They discovered the richness of their relationship without the need for the physical act to always define it. They found solace in the quiet moments, in the deep conversations, and in the simple act of being together. Their relationship grew stronger, not in spite of the changes, but because they were able to embrace those changes with open hearts and minds. This story holds a powerful lesson. Aging, with its inevitable changes, doesn't have to signal the end of intimacy or love. It is an opportunity to evolve and explore new ways of connecting. For many men, the prospect of erectile dysfunction, ED, can bring feelings of confusion and insecurity, feelings that are often fueled by societal pressures. But it's important to understand that ED is not a reflection of one's worth or masculinity. It's simply a part of life's natural course, just as graying hair or wrinkles on the skin are signs of aging. What truly matters is how we navigate these changes. There are many treatments available for those who are seeking medical solutions. Some men may benefit from medications like sildenafil, Viagra, which can help improve erectile function. However, it's crucial to consult a doctor before pursuing any medical treatment. Erectile dysfunction can sometimes be a sign of underlying health conditions, such as diabetes, hypertension, or cardiovascular problems. A thorough medical evaluation can help uncover whether there is a deeper health issue at play, and it's important to address those concerns for both your physical and emotional well-being. In addition to medications, psychological therapies can also play a crucial role. Seeing a sex therapist or relationship counselor can help couples navigate the emotional landscape of this change. These professionals can guide partners through the challenges of adjusting to a new form of intimacy, helping them to reconnect and rediscover the joy of being with each other without feeling incomplete or guilty. I recall a deeply personal experience in my life, when my late husband began to experience difficulties with maintaining an erection. Initially, it was a shock for both of us. We had enjoyed many years of passionate connection, and this new development threw us off balance. But over time, we both realized that true intimacy doesn't rely solely on physical function. It is built on the emotional connection, the quiet trust, the shared experiences, and the deep affection that exists between two souls. As we age, we come to understand that the quality of the time we spend together is far more significant than the frequency of certain physical acts. Intimacy doesn't have to revolve around a specific physical expression of love. This is not a barrier. This is an invitation. It's an invitation to reinvent your relationship, to explore new ways to express your love and connect. It's true that physical intimacy, like sex, is a way to express love and affection. But it's not the only way. Sometimes, a deeply meaningful conversation, a night of laughter and shared joy, or even simply holding each other in silence, can be more intimate than any physical act. The intimacy between two people is nourished by emotional closeness, by shared understanding, by tenderness that goes far beyond what the body can provide. A second piece of advice I want to share is to focus on maintaining a healthy lifestyle, not only for the sake of erections, but for overall well-being. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and reducing alcohol and tobacco consumption can all contribute to better sexual health and overall vitality. Don't overlook your heart. A healthy heart is essential for proper blood circulation, which is crucial for erectile function. The strength of your cardiovascular system directly impacts the ability to achieve and maintain an erection. Exercises like pelvic floor training are another important aspect of maintaining sexual health. Many people think of Kegel exercises as being exclusively for women, but they can also be beneficial for men. Strengthening the pelvic muscles can improve erectile function and overall sexual health, giving you more control over your body. Taking steps to maintain physical health in a holistic way, through diet, exercise, and self-care, can help you feel more confident and connected to your body, which in turn can improve intimacy with your partner. Life teaches us that change is inevitable. As we age, our bodies will inevitably transform. However, what truly matters is how we choose to respond to those changes. We have the power to embrace the inevitable and approach it with patience, love, and understanding. Intimacy and pleasure do not end just because an erection doesn't come when expected. This is merely a new phase in the relationship, one that can be approached with openness and compassion. There is no expiration date on intimacy. There are always new ways to explore connection, and love only grows deeper when we are willing to accept each other fully, body, mind, and soul. The changing dynamics of intimacy as we age can be daunting. Many of us will notice shifts in our bodies as we grow older, and these changes often challenge the way we think about ourselves and our relationships. Erectile dysfunction is one of the most common and delicate issues men face as they age. The sense of confusion, insecurity, and embarrassment that accompanies this change is understandable, especially in a society that often ties masculinity to physical performance. But we must remember that these changes are a natural part of aging. They are not a reflection of our worth, nor do they have to define our capacity for love or intimacy. What matters most is not how we perform in those moments, but how deeply we are willing to connect with the person we love. Intimacy can be so much more than a physical act. It's about the emotional bond, the tenderness, the trust, and the understanding that are built over a lifetime. Aging offers us a chance to redefine what intimacy means. And if we open ourselves to that possibility, we may find that intimacy, just like love itself, is not bound by the limitations of the body. Instead, it becomes something even more profound and enduring. Understanding biological changes in sexual health. As men age, one of the most noticeable changes they experience is in their sexual health. Just like other parts of the body, the penis undergoes changes over time, often due to factors like reduced blood flow, lower testosterone levels, and various underlying health conditions. Erectile dysfunction, ED, becomes more common as men get older, but it's important to understand that this decline doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process, and for many men, the ability to maintain erections may decline over time due to a range of biological factors. From a biological standpoint, the decline in erectile function is linked to several key changes in the body. As men age, blood flow to the penis often decreases, a condition that can be worsened by cardiovascular issues like atherosclerosis, hardening of the arteries, or other circulatory problems. Testosterone, a hormone that plays a critical role in sexual arousal and erectile function, also declines with age, making it more difficult for men to achieve and maintain erections. In addition, conditions like diabetes, hypertension, and obesity can further exacerbate the problem, as these health issues can interfere with circulation and the body's ability to respond to sexual stimuli. It's essential to note that these changes are not irreversible. While these biological shifts are a normal part of aging, they don't define who you are or your worth as a person or a partner. Erectile dysfunction is part of the aging process, just like gray hair, wrinkles, or joint stiffness. While it can be frustrating or difficult to accept, it does not diminish a man's value, nor does it invalidate the love and connection he shares with his partner. The key is understanding that these changes don't need to be a source of shame, they are simply part of life. Emotional impact of erectile dysfunction. The emotional impact of erectile dysfunction can be significant. For many men, their ability to perform sexually is intricately tied to their self-esteem, masculinity, and sense of manhood. The inability to achieve or maintain an erection can lead to feelings of inadequacy, frustration, and embarrassment. It can also trigger feelings of depression and anxiety. This is especially true if a man has always identified his worth with his sexual prowess. The emotional toll can be compounded by the societal expectations that often place too much pressure on performance in intimate relationships. It's crucial to recognize that performance anxiety is a real barrier to intimacy. When a man becomes anxious about pleasing his partner or is consumed with thoughts of not measuring up, his brain sends signals that interfere with the natural process of arousal. This can create a vicious cycle. The more anxious he feels about his performance, the more difficult it becomes to achieve an erection, which in turn creates more anxiety. It's a self-perpetuating loop that can be incredibly frustrating and emotionally taxing. However, it's important to address this issue with a mindset of acceptance and relaxation. Open and honest communication with a partner is key in reducing anxiety and eliminating the pressure to perform. If both partners can approach intimacy with patience and a willingness to explore new forms of connection, it becomes easier to break free from the cycle of anxiety and frustration. Redefining intimacy. It's about connection, not just performance. One of the most valuable lessons as we age is understanding that intimacy is not solely about performance. True intimacy transcends physical function. It's about the deep emotional connection, love, trust, and vulnerability shared between two people. When we let go of the need to perform and focus instead on the connection we share, intimacy becomes something much richer and more fulfilling. Intimacy can take many forms, and it's important to redefine what intimacy and pleasure mean as our bodies change. It's not just about achieving a physical outcome, but about finding ways to connect, love, and enjoy each other without the pressures of performance. The key is to focus on building emotional intimacy and to explore new ways to express love and affection. Whether it's through holding hands, long kisses, gentle touches, or just sharing quiet moments together, these acts of physical closeness can be deeply intimate, often more so than the traditional sexual acts we once relied upon. Touch, in all its forms, becomes more important as we age. Simple gestures like kissing, hugging, or even massaging each other can foster a deep emotional bond and create a sense of intimacy that goes far beyond physical sex. Communication, too, becomes an essential part of intimacy. Long, heartfelt conversations where both partners share their thoughts, fears, dreams, and desires can bring them closer than any physical act ever could. Shared laughter can be one of the most intimate expressions of connection. Humor not only strengthens bonds, but also relieves tension, making it easier for couples to navigate the complexities of aging and intimacy. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. These forms of intimacy are not just substitutes for sex. They are integral parts of what makes a relationship emotionally fulfilling. As we age, we come to realize that intimacy doesn't require a specific physical act. It's about how deeply we connect and how much we care for each other, emotionally and physically. The pressure to perform can fade away when both partners prioritize closeness and trust over sexual perfection. Embracing the changes with patience and understanding. As men age, it's important to accept that our bodies will change. But with those changes comes the opportunity to embrace a new phase in our relationships. One that is less focused on physical performance and more centered on emotional connection and mutual respect. If we approach these changes with patience, understanding, and openness, we can find new ways to experience intimacy that don't rely on physical function alone. There are still many ways to enjoy each other's company and foster emotional and physical closeness, regardless of what's happening with erectile function. The key is to let go of the need for things to be just like they used to be, and instead focus on what is, on the connection and affection that continues to grow between you and your partner. Intimacy, after all, is not a one-dimensional thing. It is multifaceted, evolving with time, and expanding into deeper, more meaningful ways of being together. So, rather than focusing on what may no longer be possible, focus instead on what is still possible. Love, laughter, touch, vulnerability, and the deep emotional bond that forms the true foundation of any lasting relationship. This is what will carry you through the inevitable changes that come with aging, making your relationship even more profound and fulfilling than you ever imagined. Mario, an older man, shared with me his story about how he and his wife adapted to the changes in his sexual function after many years of marriage. His wife reassured him that love isn't defined by physical performance. Together, they found new ways to enjoy each other and connect without focusing on erectile dysfunction. As they learned to adapt, their relationship became even stronger. Welcome back, dear granddaughters and grandsons, to this place where we can share life lessons. It is always a pleasure to see you as we gather to learn, grow, and reflect on all the wisdom life has to offer. With much love, I invite you to share this video. YouTube's algorithms no longer recommend our videos as often as before, and now, more than ever, we need your help to make sure our messages reach as many people as possible. Your participation is crucial to spread these important conversations. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. This will allow you to stay updated and take part in all the discussions. Relax, and let's talk about a delicate and important topic. We'll discuss what to do if the penis doesn't get hard during intimacy. This is a topic that can make many people feel uncomfortable or insecure, but it is something that, with patience and compassion, should be handled. I have learned many lessons in my life, not only about the body but also about relationships and intimacy. This is especially true as the years pass. Every man reaches a certain age when, no matter how passionate or fervent his desire, his body doesn't respond as it once did. This can be a hard reality for many men. It is not uncommon for the firm, natural erection that was once achieved effortlessly to start diminishing. This can lead to feelings of confusion and insecurity.